Thank you for allowing me the time to present the findings on the attrition within the company. The dashboard that I have to present to you takes the attributes and charts that we found the most interesting to kind of help tell the story as to what's going on with attrition in the company. We looked at some other attributes that we didn't include in the chart because they didn't seem to lead us in the direction as to what was going on with attrition. We looked at attrition by distance from the office, and that showed that the highest attrition was with people that lived 1 to 5 miles away from the office, which would seem to be a benefit to us and not something that would cause people to leave the company. The other thing we looked at also was job satisfaction surveys. And what we found there was the research scientists, the laboratory techs, and the sales executive gave the company the highest ratings for job satisfaction. And as I'll show you later, it also is amongst our highest attrition groups. So it's not that they're not satisfied at their job. There's got to be something else that is leading them to leave the company. We also looked at travel, and the highest attrition there for both genders was people that traveled rarely. So that did also not seem to stick out to us as we looked at some of the data. So what we did is we built an interactive dashboard. And the thing that we built it around, as we talk about here, is gender. Because the big thing that jumped out to us was we've got almost a 2-to-1 ratio of males leaving to females. So we wanted to try to understand that story better. The dashboard is interactive. So if I can slide me out of the way here a little bit, there we go. So you've got your attrition count, your active employees, your total employee counts, the average age of all the employees, and the average years that they've worked here at AMG with this company. As we go in and drill down through the data, all these stats will change based upon the criteria we're using to kind of slice through the data or kind of peel the onion back a little bit. You can click on the departments, you can click on the job role, you can actually click on the bars in the department attrition, you can click on the circles for female and male. Also, you could click on the blue lines. You could click on here. And what I want to do is first we're going to walk through the male side of things. So if you click on the male side, you'll see that we've got an active count of 732 males, 115 have left the company for a total of 882 employees, average age of 37, and about 11 years with the company. Big things that you see here, single males leaving almost at a 50% rate for their marital status. The other thing that you'll notice is that they most of them are in the age of 30 to 39, followed by 20 to 29. Also, when you look, this kind of goes back to that job satisfaction. The laboratory techs, the sales executives, and the research scientists have the highest number. And if you look at in total up through everything here, everything's going to total that 150 number. So that's what we're slicing and looking at now, are those 150 males only. Also, most of them have advanced degrees in either life sciences or in the medical industry. And the one thing that really jumped out as we went through the data that really we think points in a direction that needs to be maybe looked at is wage increases. The last wage increases, this group of 150 males, 98 of them got the lowest percentage raises within the company. So that's a big pointer because, like I said, these people aren't dissatisfied. They're saying they're satisfied with their job. But if you look at some of the wages that they're making, these guys are making $44,000 to $66,000 is their average salaries. So with an advanced degree, that's not being compensated very well. And if you look at that, I mean, with almost 11 years of experience, and that's what they're paying. So I think that is kind of a big hint as to where we're potentially looking at going here and what we may need to do to try to reduce attrition in the company. If you go to the female side, you're going to see a lot of the same type of stuff. Once again, the single females are leaving more than the divorced or married ones. But once again, as you can see, not by quite the same percentage. You also see the same categories on the department attrition and the job role. And the same thing happens here. You look at this 20 to 29 group, 30 to 39, they're almost equally split and are overwhelming more than 50% of the age groups that are leaving us. Same thing, they've also got advanced degrees in life science and the medical industry. And once again, out of those 87, 52 of them got amongst the lowest raises in the group. And salary-wise, actually, the females are making a little bit more than the males by age group. They're making 47 to 68. So you see that same type of thing. If you bring back the original chart, once again, you can see here what I was talking about. The males are making about 44,450 annual salary. Females are making 47 in this age group of 30 to 39. The females are making 68 to the male 66. So the females are making a little bit more in this. But I think the one thing we really wanted to look at is come into, and like I said, you can slice this however you want. And if you go down lower, you can continue to slice and kind of peel the onion down. So here we've got the 150 males broken down. I'm going to go ahead and select here, and you can see how the numbers are changing. Now I'm going to look at the 73 single males only. So now it's going to slice that down. You can tell you're looking at the 73 single males. Once again, if you total things up, it'll total up to 73. Probably the easiest one to do that is here. You've got 44, 54, 61, 71, 73. So these numbers will total up to the attrition count. The same thing for everything in here. So when you look at those 73 single males, once again, the same type of stuff is going on. But the thing you notice here is medical slid down a little bit. But once again, out of those 73, 44 of them were in the group that got the lowest raises. And the 20 to 29 group for those males is where we've got even more of our attrition at. And once again, like I said, those guys are making $43,500 for advanced degrees with an average of 10 years of experience at AMG. If you want to slice further, you could then take the 73 and say, oh, let's look at the 44 that got the lowest wages and let's see what's going on there. And you can see, once again, 16 of the 44 are laboratory technicians, and then tied with research scientist and sales executive at 9 each. 17 of the 44 have a life science degree, followed by 11 with a medical degree, and that 20 to 29 age group and 30 to 39 age group being second in there. So that's what you can do with the data that's available. And you can continue to slice down further if you wanted to. But pretty soon you start slicing down to where you're looking at very little bit of the data. But once again, if you want to go a step further, let's look at the 17 life science people. You can see what departments they work in, where their average income. Of course, these have been fixed because you've already filtered on them. So the stuff that's already been filtered on, but you can see how the filters do change and align up when you continue to drill down into the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and escape out, and you can do the same thing. You can pick anything as your starting point. If you want to look at the 120 single people, you can look at them. Now because we didn't start with the gender, you can see the breakdown of that. The 120, 73 are male, 47 are female, 120, of course, single. Income-wise, once again, that 20 to 29 is a little bit ahead of that 30 to 39 group. And, basically I said you've got people making low 40s with over 10 years of experience. And once again, with advanced degrees, along with the marketing degree popping up there. And then also you can see here, the technical degrees is right there. So things are a little tighter, but still your life science is number one and your medical is number two still. And the same thing goes on here. If you look at this, by far and away, most of those people who have left are in that lowest group that got wage increases. And if you want to slice down into any of this, you can do the same thing. If you wanted to look at it by percent increase next, to look at those people, now you can get down into those 72 people. You can see the breakdown of them and how they break down in the data. So you can really slice down through the data, very interactive to give you basically any drill down that you want with this data in here. And you can look at it. We've got, gender, we've got marital status, we've got department they work in, their job role, we've got age, we've got their hourly rate, their annual salary, we've got what their last increase was, and we've also got their degrees in education field. So with that, what we see in the data, and we kind of already alluded to this, is the wage increases looks to be the driver as to why we're getting as much attrition as we are, because once again, the people are satisfied in their job. So it's got to be something other than that. Most of them live close, so it's got to be something other than that. They don't travel a lot. So when you start kind of saying, what isn't it, then you end up kind of coming over here to this wage increase, that the people got the lower wage increases, or we're not happy with their wage increase, or, which once again ties back to what they're making as an annual salary. So we think that the company, we need to look at doing more research, looking at our competition, what they're handing out for raises. And I think we also need to look at where their wage structure is, to make sure we're paying competitive where we're trying to recruit people from, whether we're competing against local companies or regional companies, or we're competing nationally for the top talent. We've got to make sure that we're paying competitively, and we've got to make sure we're paying well enough that we can hold on to the people when we get them here, because we've made quite an investment getting them up to speed in our systems to lose them and to have to replace them down the road. Hope you like the presentation. Hope you like the dashboard, and we'll continue to look at the data and see if anything pops out as far as anything that we need to share. But right now, this is our findings so far. Thank you.